You ever see a Japanese truck and think, wait, is that a truck or a rolling spaceship disco ball? Well, there's a reason for all of that. Today, we're going under the hood, literally and culturally, to find out why Japanese trucks look so wild. When you compare trucks across the world, Japan's stand out immediately. In the US, semi-trucks are long-nosed beasts. Think Kenworth, Peterbilt, or Freightliner. They're designed with a huge hood stretching out in front, a giant grille, and a cab set far back. In Europe, trucks are Cabover engine designs. The cab sits right above the engine, giving a boxy, compact look to fit narrow streets and strict length laws. In Japan, you also see Cabover trucks, but they somehow don't look the same as their European cousins. Japanese cabs are often more vertical, angular, and tall, giving them a bold face that almost looks exaggerated. Imagine this: a Mitsubishi Fuso or Hino parked next to a Mercedes Actros. Both are Cabovers, but the Japanese one looks a little more cartoonish. Taller windows, square grille, and sometimes proportions that feel like the truck was scaled up from a toy. That design isn't accidental. It's shaped by road laws, tight urban roads, short wheelbases needed, cultural aesthetics, a tendency to exaggerate form, making things look strong and expressive, commercial practicality, ease of maneuvering in crowded Japanese cities. And trust me, once you notice it, you can't unsee it. Now, let's get into the really weird part: decotora trucks. If you've never heard of them, decotora means decoration trucks, and they are insane. Imagine an 18-wheeler turned into a rolling carnival ride. Chrome-plated bumpers stacked 3 layers high. Hundreds, yes, hundreds of neon lights and LEDs covering the cab and trailer. Airbrushed murals of dragons, samurai, Mount Fuji, or sometimes anime characters. Custom interiors with chandeliers, velvet curtains, and control panels that look like a spaceship. Decotora culture exploded in the 1970s, heavily inspired by a series of movies called Taraku Yaro, Truck Guys. These films romanticize truckers as free-spirited rebels, sort of like Japan's version of Smokey and the Bandit. Truckers started decorating their rigs to stand out, and it quickly snowballed into a full-blown subculture. Here's the thing: while Westerners see them as over-the-top, in Japan they're seen as an art form. These trucks are essentially moving canvases. Entire decotora festivals are held, where drivers show off rigs that have taken decades to build. To give you a picture, imagine a Scania in Sweden, tastefully chromed and maybe painted metallic blue. Now, imagine the same truck in Japan, but it's glowing like Times Square at night, with a mural of a phoenix across the trailer. That's decotora. And the best part? Most of these trucks are still working trucks. They haul cargo by day and light up the streets by night. But decotora are just the extreme side of Japanese trucks. Even ordinary work trucks in Japan look unusual compared to what you see in the US or Europe. Take K trucks, for example. These are mini work trucks barely bigger than a golf cart. They're designed to fit narrow alleys, rice paddies, and small construction sites. Brands like Suzuki Carry or Daihatsu Hijet are everywhere in Japan. Now, in the US, a small pickup like a Ford Ranger or Toyota Tacoma is considered compact. But in Japan, a K truck makes those look gigantic. Why so small? Because of K-car regulations, which give tax breaks and cheaper insurance if a vehicle stays under strict size and engine limits. For farmers and small businesses, K-trucks are the ultimate cheap workhorse. Then you have medium-duty Japanese trucks like the Isuzu Elf or Mitsubishi Fuso Canter. These dominate city delivery work, and they often look slightly boxier than their Western counterparts. Again, this comes from design priorities. Compact footprint for urban roads, tall cab for better driver visibility, flat sides to maximize cargo box space. Even when you look at heavy-duty semis like the Hino Profia or UD Kuon, the styling is sharp and aggressive. Compare that to an American Freightliner Cascadia, which is designed for aerodynamics but looks almost softer. Japanese trucks want to look bold, powerful, and a little intimidating, like mechanical warriors. So, why does Japan lean into these wild truck designs? The answer lies deep in Japanese culture. First, aesthetic traditions. Japan has a long history of valuing ornamentation and drama. Think kabuki theater costumes, samurai armor, or festival floats. Trucks became a modern extension of that tradition. Second, group identity. In a collectivist culture, belonging to a community is powerful. Decotora truckers form tight-knit groups, decorating their trucks not just for themselves, but to show solidarity at festivals and events. Third, pride in craftsmanship. The Japanese concept of monozukuri, the art of making things well, applies to trucks too. A hand-welded bumper with intricate chrome work? That's not just decoration, it's craftsmanship. 4. Escapism. For long-haul truckers, hours of lonely highway driving can be tough. A decorated cab full of lights, music systems, and custom interiors turns the truck into a personal sanctuary. So what looks wild to outsiders is actually a mix of tradition, pride, and practical lifestyle choices in Japan. Now, let's talk mechanics. Japanese trucks aren't just about looks. Their engineering is unique too. The engines. Unlike American trucks with massive 15-liter inline sixes, Japanese heavy-duty trucks usually have smaller engines, around 10 to 13 liters. Why? Because Japan's roads are shorter, mountainous, and urbanized. You don't need a 600-horsepower Cummins to pull across Route 66. You need efficiency and torque for steep, tight roads. Axles and frames. Japanese trucks often have shorter wheelbases, tighter steering angles, and lighter frames, perfect for weaving through Tokyo streets where an American Peterbilt wouldn't even fit. Cab design. Notice how many Japanese cabs have enormous mirrors sticking out like antennae? That's not just style. It's because visibility in dense traffic is critical. So yes, even the engineering choices contribute to their wild look. When Japanese trucks appear outside of Japan, they turn heads. In the US, enthusiasts import K trucks for off-road fun or farm work. They look like toy trucks next to a Ford F-350. In Europe, decotora trucks show up at exhibitions and get swarmed by photographers. They're so different from the clean, regulated Scandinavian style. On social media, Japanese trucks often go viral because they don't look real. They look like movie props. And that's part of the magic. Japanese trucks remind us that commercial vehicles don't always have to look utilitarian. They can be art. So, the next time you see a Japanese truck, whether it's a tiny K pickup, a Hino semi, or a full-blown decotora glowing like a spaceship, remember, there's a story behind that wild look. It's not just for show. It's a blend of practicality, culture, and creativity that only Japan could produce. And that's what makes Japanese trucks some of the most fascinating machines on the road. Thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe for much more trucking content.